Hey yo, what is the word? What goes on, peeps? Jay Porks here. We are back here with a brand new episode of Dyze in Your House, recorded on Juneteenth. Again, not sure if I'm gonna wait till midnight to release it or what, but I want to, there's always something to address when you're living in fascism. But just want to kick it off by saying the views and opinions expressed on my podcast are that of my own and do not represent that of my employer. Also, I need to make it clear. This is just hearkening back to the point I was making a few weeks ago about we don't have to give Republicans money. Like if a Republican owns a business, if a Republican has a side hustle, if a Republican is an Uber driver, you do not need to give them any more money. I got out of a Tesla recently. Like that pulled up as my Uber. I was like, no, I'm gonna take another one. I ended up taking the bus. But either way. Same thing with Juneteenth, right? If there's a company, if you pass by a storefront, and I'm not saying, every store needs to close. I'm not saying that at all. As I went a minute and 13 seconds having the AirPods in the wrong ear. Not the AirPods, the headphones. That's insane. We need to understand that all businesses can't close, right? But however, if you go to a business and there's no even a sign like Happy Juneteenth or you know what I mean, then you could make the decision to not give that business your money. And businesses, that's what people respond to in a capitalistic society. We need to stop giving hateful people our money. Now, again, some people are off today. Some people get a paid day off. This isn't work. Nonetheless, there is work to do on the country. So, if you're I'm a white person. I will spend today listening. I will spend today learning, and I will spend today doing my best to see what steps I can take to be a better white person. Because as white people have not been sending our best people. Not at all. That was a good quip that I used on a Reels earlier, so I rehashed it there. Don't mind me. But also you could be like the best white person in the world, right? And there's still more you can do. So people posting don't reply to the post that say, why is my whatever closed today? Those people are just looking to have racist arguments with you because they're racists. Fact of the matter is this. Oh, why is my bank closed today? I don't know. We enslaved black people for over 400 years. Non-white people. Predominantly black. But Columbus enslaved the Native Americans when he came over too. So he's on the Mount Rushmore, right? Of founding fathers of slavery. I'm not saying he's numero uno, but he's on, Imagine you show up to a place, people are like, yo, pull up. Imagine you pull up to the function, and people invite you in. They're like, yo, we got this, we got that, we got this. And you're like, yo, do you got guns? And they're like, no. And you're like, okay. We do. I'm not sure if it was guns or some fancy sword things. Anyway, this is not Columbus Day. Few things that I wanted to get into yesterday when I wanted to go live, but I found out my Instagram account is restricted because I called a Nazi. And I will not stop doing that, but I don't know what I have to do to get live back. But either way, cool. I wanted to talk about the mayor's race. Now, I'm not going to do that on this podcast because it's recorded. And I could find myself going into a tangent that I don't remember later that I might regret. So I'm not going to do that. But live, I wanted to have a conversation with people about who they want to vote for, who they're going to vote, well, not who they want, who are they going to vote for, What's the plan in November if their preferred candidate does not, if their preferred candidate does not get elected? Like, I want to hear the plan. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to hear the plan. From my friends, from people that follow me. But anyway, this New York City one it's ramping up now. You could tell by the way the algorithm is feeding you posts that it's ramping up right now. But nonetheless, well, of course it's ramping up because it's about to happen. Of course, Brad Lander has been released from custody. He was detained by ICE the other day. I don't think it was Friday. I was at work and I had lunch at 2:00 and I read a Threads post that said 1:00 flash protests. So I was like, okay, I'm going to head up there. So I head up to 26 Federal Plaza. I work walking distance from there. So, there's that. I'm glad Governor Kathy Hochul was able to go over there and get him out. And it brings out the worst in people, right? So I'm on social media, I'm on Threads, and, it's Democrat on Democrat crime. And I will continue to do this. So this is going to be the new running theme of the podcast, right? So any action you do, I want you to ask yourself, does this help Democrats get elected? And I'm doing the hand motions here because I'm going to make an attempt to edit after I do this, and I'm hoping that I can put the thing over there. Does this help Democrats get elected? So, you yelling at me because I said in November I'm going to vote for the Democrat, that's what I always do. But somebody said I was a bot. That bothered me. How many bots have fucking podcasts? You know what I'm saying? I shared a link. This is, hi, not a bot, real person, real existence, all that stuff. Also, he or she said I was red hat behavior. After I tried to say, all right, listen. I said, at least we're both on the side of we hate the red hats, right? Can't accept the red hats. And this person was like, the way, you have red hat behavior. That shit got me so fucking mad, it's not even funny. That's why I wanted to go live. And then I couldn't go live because my account is restricted because I called Nazis Nazis. I'm sorry that I don't feel that the Democrats are the ones that need to rebrand when Republicans became fucking Nazis. All right? So you have two political parties. Oh, Jay, it's the two-party system. It sucks. I know. Shut up for now. Stop. There are Democrats and there are Republicans. Republicans decided, instead of masking themselves as fiscally conservative and doing the racist shit behind your back, they decided to do the racist shit, the fascist shit, the Nazi shit right in your face, right? They decided to do that right in your face, and they are basically now nothing more than Nazis, okay? And because of that, somehow the Democrats need to rebrand their fucking... for instance, if you're running for mayor on the Democratic ticket in New York City, I need to be perfectly clear with you here. If you're running for mayor as a Democrat, you voted for Harris. If you didn't vote for Harris, you might as well have a name tag on that says Felicia. Because bye with that bullshit. Are you good? You purity tested? And then a year later, you want to... What? Get the fuck out of here. Again, have not seen the voting history of the mayoral candidates in the primary. Therefore, I am not telling you that any of them did not vote for Harris. They may have all voted for Harris. I don't know. I'm just saying, if, like, that's an assumption of mine. You know what I mean? But, like, that's the thing. So I asked that question on Threads. I said, did this candidate vote for Harris? Or what else? Who'd everyone else vote for? Agreed. Let's go. Put it out there. But I'm sick of the notion that Democrats are somehow going to... People that want America to progress, you're not going to get there by giving Republicans power all the time. At every turn. Oh, well, you know, I'm not really sure about Kamala Harris. Not really sure. All right, well, let me ask you a question. How you feeling about America right now? Feel good? You like this? You like your 401k? You like that stock market? You like prices going up? You like tariffs? You like ICE in the streets? You like Proud Boy ICE, which is like, Proud Boy ICE is what we're going to call the ICE agents that wear the masks, that have no identification, won't talk to you, won't tell you who they are, and if you ask them too many questions, they're going to walk away. By the way, if there's an ICE agent, throw glitter on them. So then they can't get that shit off. So everybody will know they're ICE agents, so they can't be undercover anymore. It's just crazy. And I've spoken about this before. The law enforcement, like, vehicles and shit in America versus other countries, right? Other countries, the cop car is like bright green and yellow, and there's lights, and they're tall, and you can see them from far away. You want to know why? Because if you need help, law enforcement's supposed to be there to help you. In LA, there's mariachi bands going down the street. They don't need help. They need you to leave them alone. Brad Lander needs to be able to accompany immigrants to their immigration check-in hearings, which they are following the rules that Republicans have put in place of doing it the right way. Okay, so they show up at the check-in and then they get deported to a country they're not from? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Said that last week, though. Just saying. Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't bother you? Like, you guys could have just voted for Kamala Harris. Dearborn, Michigan, looking at you. Also, Starlink, fuck you. Because if you think that election was on the up and up, I don't know what band it was, but you got another thing coming. Don't give your money to Republicans. Republican-owned businesses, Republican-owned corporations. Like, I've never, like, people, well, you know, they should make a big deal about a Hobby Lobby going up. But at the same time, like, I don't know what Hobby Lobby has because I've never set foot in one. So, again, things like that. And to wind down here, it is Juneteenth. Any company not celebrating Juneteenth, any company that's rolling back DEI, any company that's afraid of pushing that pride is a thing that everyone should have no matter what their sexual orientation is. Like, everybody, pride should not be like something that's being phased out. That's fucking stupid. And racism should not be being phased in as it is right now. Fascism should not be a thing. Okay? So, please do yourselves a favor and stop giving Republicans your money. And then when it comes down to voting, don't leave a lane for Republicans to get elected. Don't leave a lane. Don't do it.